Chill Talks.
Chill Talks.
Chill Talks.
Chill Talks. So, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Chill Talks podcast where conversations happen. I am your host PJ, and we are actually here in the studio of one of our returning guests. One of the what do you call this? One of the Philippines' best makeup artists.
Grabe naman yun.
I think that was the claim then last year, no? So,
yes,
Miss Jan Dayaon, it's been a while, but
yes,
sa mga unfamiliar sa audiences, we've had an interview last year. Mm-hmm. So, parang this is an opportunity for us to catch up.
Yes,
so,
marami tayong pag-uusapan.
Of course. So, una sa lahat, kamusta ka na after 1 year na hindi tayo nagkita, no?
Ang daming nangyari. Mm-hmm. Especially the manifestations that we had during that time nung last na natin na katulad nga na parang you're getting there and then you're full of encouragement that time, and I took that positively and I am so inspired with those words. And ngayon ang daming nangyari and nakaka-overwhelm, but still I am very much grateful for everything that have happened in my life. I was one of the official glam team of Miss Universe. I worked with my celebrity clients already this year, and I won several competitions and all, and that's all because of our manifestation during our last interview. And sobrang happy ko nun, Sir PJ.
Kasi naalala ko nun, kasi before we talk like this, pinakinggan ko yung episode natin before. Halos lahat ng sinishare mo is everything was about your vision, your dreams, tapos talking to you, tapos sinishare mo na yung mga realities, naging reality na yung dream. It's kind of, tawag nito, it's very ethereal ba ang word na yun? Nakaka out of this world yung feeling, kasi parang it's rare to talk with people na nagkaroon ng power of manifestation. Usually people like that are hard to talk or hard to reach due to their busy schedule. So very appreciative talaga ako. Nag-align yung schedules nating both for this conversation.
And I'm very appreciative din kasi, to be honest, that conversation fueled me to do better. Diba? Totoo. Nakaka-boost kasi ng confidence, especially if there's someone listening and at the same time boosting your confidence to do better. And isa ka dun sa naging inspiration ko that time. That's why when I knew that I will be doing this, which is pag-uusapan natin yan later, when I knew that I will be doing this, the first person that came into my mind is you.
Thank you so much.
Na gusto kong makapag sit in interview again with you. Yes.
Yes, kasi ang tawag nito, during this time na after our interview, tas unti-unti nakikita ko yung growth mo during in a span of 1 year. Kaya nakakabilib na I have so many friends na nakausap before, tapos lahat sila in a span of few months, actually grabe na rin yung growth. Tapos seeing you as one of those person, parang nakaka-motivate din na someone na naging kausap ko is reaching their dreams. So parang what's stopping me from doing my own din?
Yes, kasi, exactly. And siguro maswerte ka.
May
swerte kang dala. And I think that's another manifestation. I always love to believe na yung mga tao nag-share ng positivity, they are lucky. And I think you're lucky for us.
Thank you so much. Parang reflecting, parang di naman sa pagbubuhat ng bangko. Parang I find it very amazing na si Rian Macy
she's now the Miss Tilia, di ba?
Ang dami ng crowning achievement ni Macy, tapos si Greggy, si Conyo Bicolano.
She's now in Love Radio. He's now in Love Radio.
Ang laki ng growth nila, tapos yung iba ko pang I have so many stories of success nila na parang it's a shared happiness na yung tipong I'm so happy that yung mga napag-usapan lang namin last year, lahat yun na-achieve nila. And I've been wondering, na gusto kong matanong din sa'yo, during that growth or success na naaabot mo during this year, ano yung mga nagbago sa'yo na before you never thought na magiging ganito ka during this time?
The question is, ano yung mga nagbago like personally?
Yes, personally.
Your personally, I learned how to enjoy life, and at the same time, every day is an opportunity for me to grow and strive to be better. And I think that is the most important thing in life that I realize na ang iksi pala ng buhay.
Actually, yes.
What you need to do is to live your life to the fullest and do whatever you want to do as long as you're not stepping on anyone. And as long as you're contributing to the growth of someone or if you're inspiring others. And I am very much happy to share this on social media, those achievements, those humble achievements. I am not there to brag at all eh. And then, if you notice my caption, it's always like expressing my overflowing gratitude or expressing my sincerest gratitude for these humble achievements. Hindi siya nawawala sa caption ko because those achievements is something that I wanna use to inspire others, especially those aspiring makeup artists talaga na ang bata ko pa and I'm already doing what I love doing. And that is something that I wanna inspire na if you love what you're doing, the rest will follow.
It's
Nasabi ko din yun last year, di ba?
Hanggang ngayon, yun yung naging consistent sa'yo all throughout. So, during those time, kasi nakita ko na nagtrabaho ka as part of the glam team ng Miss Universe behind the scenes. Is it okay for you to share us kung ano yung behind the scenes sa ganung kalaking event?
That's a very good question, Sir PJ. Kasi a lot of people know na when you say pageantry, it's all about the glamour, it's all about the pasarela walk, the rampa, it's all about the spotlight. But Miss Universe is actually one of the major factor that pushed me to continue this journey towards the most coveted crown of this pageant. The reason why is that I saw pageantry before as just a form of entertainment. I watch pageant because I want to see these girls or my sisters slaying the runway. I want to see them answer the question. I want to see them entertain me through their production number. But more than that, when I went and when I worked for Miss Universe, all girls, they have their own advocacies eh. And I think that is the most interesting fact backstage. Like, I have psoriasis. It's very mild lang naman. It's not malala pa naman. Pero I didn't know that it's a problem that we need to address. Kasi, when you say psoriasis, it's a skin condition, not you're dirty because you have dandruff and you have And I think those kind of the reason why I mentioned about psoriasis, the very first client who sat on my chair is Miss Agusan del Norte, and her advocacy is about psoriasis. And during that time when I was doing her makeup, we were talking about her advocacy, and the best thing about it is that when you're talking with someone who is very passionate with her advocacy, you eventually become an advocate of their advocacy as well. And imagine that out of those 40 ladies or 40 purposeful queens, alam ko yung mga advocacies nila and naging advocate din ako ng mga advocacies na yon. Si Pau Pau, si Pauline Amelinx about sa body shaming. Basically a lot of advocacies na natutunan ko na pageantry is really a platform to spark change without stepping on anyone in your community. And that what brings me here in this situation.
So parang it's in a way na you are exposed or you are na-expose ka and at the same time mas namumulat ka sa iba't ibang realidad na hindi nakikita ng pangkaramihan.
Yes, oo.
Because I think psoriasis is ang tingin lang naman ng majority I believe is that I'll be the representative ng majority if it's okay. Usually ang tingin namin karamihan sa psoriasis is just parang skin illness. So parang it's a skin disease na parang after that parang hindi namin alam na may ganun pala siyang
na pwede siya makamatay. If you will not cure it, medyo mabigat siya. And I think that the best thing about it is that people should acknowledge these problems as early as now. I always remember this when I was reviewing for my Q&A. Kidlin Law. If you can write the problem clearly and specifically, you already solved the problem, half of it. Sabi ko, ang ganda no, na if you can acknowledge the problem, you're eventually on your way to solving the problem kasi alam mo na yung root cause ng problem. And I think, yun yung aside from that, Sir PJ, I mean, medyo mabigat yung mga advocacy eh.
Yes.
Pumunta tayo dun sa brighter and siguro lighter side nung pagiging official glam team ng Miss Universe. I built connections that up until now, I am using. I will never be able to get Miss Rufa May Quinto if it wasn't because of Miss Universe. Why? Kasi marami ako naging kaibigan sa loob. So, these people that na suddenly became my friends, they're working with celebrities and now they saw my potential, they saw my talents, and they saw siguro yung work ethics ko na 5 a.m. yung call time, 3 a.m. nasa Okada na ako. They saw the work ethics. And I think you're building connections also. If you know Miss CJ Opiaza, first runner-up of Miss Universe Philippines, she's actually one of my alaga during the Miss Universe Philippines 2023. And up until now, we're communicating. Up until now, I'm consulting her kung paano ba yung walk ko, kung okay ba yung walk ko. Why? Because she's actually, the title of CJ is Pasarela Queen because she's really nailing the runway with her pasarela walk. And I think that's the good thing is when you're good to people and at the same time when you already build that connection to others, tutulungan ka nila and magkakaroon ng two-way collaboration lagi.
So parang it's in a kind of way na kung ano yung best attributes na meron ka, na-absorb nila and vice versa din.
Vice versa. And then good. you suddenly become friends and tulungan na kayo. Kahit even after Miss Universe season.
So one of the things din na curious din ako kasi as someone who has worked with different kinds of people from different kinds of status it's either artista, it's either may connection sa mga mayayamang tao. I'm curious kasi maraming tao for sure yun nang itatanong na paano nga ba makipag-usap or communicate with people that are deemed as a higher status than most people sa society natin. Kasi not everyone, what do you call this? Not everyone can have...
Yes, can handle those the pressure.
Yes, yung tipong makita lang na someone has this level of authority, takot na kausapin.
Yes.
So, how can you teach our younger audience, which is majority na nakikinig ngayon, to overcome that kind of fear na, is it na maging okay lang makipag-usap to someone that they deem as a higher status than them?
That's a very good question because even up to this day, I am intimidated by my clients whom I think are millionaires. Feeling ko kaya nila akong bilhin.
May ganun talaga.
May ganun feeling na parang, oh my God, baka anytime soon, alam mo yun, sampalin ako nito. And then, I mean, what I am trying to say is, hindi sila ganon, but it's just me overthinking. And it's just me intimidated by their presence. And that's a very good question na i-topic natin siya. Kasi a lot of people are intimidated by the luxury market because it's intimidating as is. Talaga naman nakaka-intimidate. Especially if I have these clients na magnininang lang sila and then they will parang paano ba, pipili sila ng mga jewelries like mga diamonds and nakalatag pa yung mga diamonds sa table and you don't wanna go to that table kasi paano kapag may walang hikaw or kung ano, Diyos ko. Pero basically, babalik tayo dun sa lagi nilang sinasabi na walang matigas na tinapay sa mainit na kape. If you're showing your warmest hospitality at the very beginning, mabait sila sa'yo. And then, if you know to yourself that your intention is good, babait sila sa'yo. Okay. And lastly, if hindi mo sila tinitake advantage, babalik sila sa'yo. What I am trying to say about the take advantage part is that, mayaman to. Tataasan ko yung rate ko dahil mayaman to. You should not be doing that at all. I mean, in my case, kasi I can play with my rate. Kapag mayaman to, pwede ko siyang i-charge ng ganitong halaga. Kapag may kaya lang to, pwede kong babaan. I mean, I can play with my rate, but the good thing is, you never have to sell your credibility as well as the trust, you're being trustworthy for a particular or a small amount of money, parang kumaga, wag mong sayangin yung pangalan mo na na-establish mo sa halagang 10,000 pesos na you can earn if you have a good and strong credibility. So, yun yung lagi kasi nasabi na hindi yan yayaman kung hindi yan matalino. So, never ever take advantage of this type of people because they know what they are doing and they know who's taking advantage of them.
Usually, hindi naman sila makakarating sa ganung level if hindi sila matunog
and hindi sila matalino.
Yes.
Oo.
Given na yun. And at the same time, I want to ask your opinion on this. Kasi, in connection doon sa parang takot makipag-usap sa mga tao. Laging, personal, nakikita ko rin na na-share ko din minsan or napag-uusapan ng karamihan na the concept of being an introvert. Na, introvert ako dito kaya ayoko makipag-usap. Introvert ako dahil ayoko sa mga tao. Do you think the concept of being an introvert is so popularized, so romanticized to the point na people are absorbing it in a negative way na it hinders them na mas mag-reach out to more people.
More people. I don't see any problem if that person is an introvert. I don't see any problem with that because to be honest, I am an introvert also. Like, kung hindi mo ako kausapin, I'm not gonna talk to you because I'm reserving my energy to more important things. Kung saan ako kikita, kung saan ako magbe-benefit. But if I'm not getting anything from you, like, magchichikahan lang tayo ng chismis or ano, I'm an introvert on that part. Pero what I'm trying to say here is that sometimes it's an excuse already na I'm an introvert, that's why I don't want to talk to you. Because sometimes what we need to remember is that we need to adapt in the environment that we are in. What do I mean by that? Parang for you to be able to survive an industry like ours, kailangan mong i-level yung energy mo dun sa kausap mo. So that people, you're not pleasing or you're not, sa American term na ginagamit namin sa Amerika, you're not kissing asses. Hindi ka humahalik ng puwet ng tao. But basically, you're feeding them their cravings. What do I mean by cravings? You're feeding them the right emotion that they've been wanting to get. So what do I mean by that? If that person is loud or if that person is full of energy and nakikita ko naman na beneficial yung magiging connection namin, I will try to
mirror
mo yung energy so that you will magja-jive kayo. And then what you need to do is hindi mo naman kailangan the whole time ganun ka. Because, like what I mentioned, kailangan mo lang i-mirror and at the same time, yung Filipino term na pakikisama. So, I think, it's okay to be introvert, but at the same time, you must know how to adapt kasi you must be really, really good for you to be a successful introvert. What do I mean by that? Kailangan sobrang galing mo na kahit wala kang kausapin, people will still buy your services. Will still buy your products. Kasi most of the time, PR na talaga eh. Kailangan mo na maging mabait and at the same time, kailangan mo na maging palakaibigan so that you can build your connections.
Actually, I believe there are some people na nagpagod for a few years just to establish a certain presence. Tapos after that, wala na. Di sila nakikipag-usap sa
totoo.
Sila na yung nilalapitan.
Ikaw ba, introvert ka ba?
Super.
Totoo.
At ang
Pero I feel like you can mirror an energy. Kasi parang ako ang ingay ko, di ba? Ngayon ang ingay ko. Pero, I feel like we're on the same level of energy. And I don't feel like you're an introvert.
I think I got it from my dad.
Na,
nagulat nga rin ako. Introvert ako kasi at the same time, teacher ako ng college. So parang, you're kind of expected to be an extrovert kasi kailangan mo makipag-usap sa mga estudyante and teachers. Pero I realized na I'm an introvert kasi outside of that environment, parang,
you wanna be alone.
Oh, as in,
yes,
do not bother me if hindi naman kailangan. And I won't bother anyone. Tapos,
and yun yung sinasabi ko na, yan yung sinasabi ko kanina na you must adapt with your environment.
Yes.
If you have the time to rest and if you have the time to recharge, that's the term siguro na I need to recharge my social battery. I enjoy my time alone because that's the time na I can think about life in general. What do I want? What do I need to do better? And I think I can say na I'm an introvert kasi unang-una sa lahat, I love traveling alone.
Ay, actually, I get that feeling.
Nakikita mo yung mga post ko, di ba? I love, pumupunta ako ng Sagada mag-isa, pupunta ako Kalinga mag-isa, Ilocos mag-isa. So, basically, I enjoy that time. And a lot of people, naawa sila sa akin.
Ay, kasi di ka ba na-picture na, ay, kawawa naman si ganito?
Hindi naman. Pero para kasi kapag nandun na ako, bakit mag-isa ka lang? You should be spending your time with someone na very important or with your friends. And I think, that's my time to recharge. Ang ingay na ng buhay ko, sometimes from time to time, you need to be alone, anonymous. Yeah. And masarap mag-travel ng alone kasi walang nakakakilala sa'yo. You can be outrageous, pero syempre, wag naman sobra.
Kasi walang magpo-protect din naman sa'yo.
Walang naman magpo-protect sa'yo in case.
Kasi one of the key things na natutunan ko din as an introvert in adapting with the environment is that karamihan kasi my previous mistake is that kapag anong environment mo, you have to match the energy. Yung tipong pag sobrang saya, alam mo rin maging sobrang saya. To the point na parang pinipilit ko na yung sarili ko just to fit it with the energy.
Yes.
But one day na-observe ko yung approach ni Papa ko na nakipag-usap siya sa maraming tao. May politician siyang nakausap, mga pari, tas mga tao sa community. Nakita ko ko, nakakasabay siya sa energy nila, pero hindi nagbabago yung demeanor niya. Hindi nagbabago yung pananalita niya.
Yes, oo.
Hindi nagbabago yung boses niya.
And that's a talent
no?
no?
Talent yun. Tapos nung nakita ko siya, hindi ko siya tinanong kasi alam, hindi naman yun ibubungin din sa akin ni Papa. Ang ginagawa niya is that he is matching just the tone of the voice lang. Or even, kahit hindi siya nagsasalita, gumagano lang siya, mumingit, sinasabayan niya yung tao. So parang, it's kind of nagiging natural yung flow with
yung conversation.
Being with people.
Yes,
so parang, I kinda adapted it when teaching and sa ganito, sa kind of podcast na kahit super energetic yung kaharap ko, kaya ko siyang i-match without me expressing the same amount of energy.
Yes,
so parang ganun.
And I just learned na you're an introvert. Hindi ko alam. Kasi in this industry, sabi ko nga, nagpo-podcast ka, content creator ka, teacher ka pa. Sabi ko parang alayo naman maging introvert nito. Pero I feel where you're coming from kasi ganun din ako. Na if I need my time for myself, I don't care what other people will say, but that is my time to recharge. And I think it's about building boundaries or borders na this is now my time for privacy. And I mean, recently, nag-viral yung video ni Lea Salonga.
Oh, yeah.
Remember sa dressing room? And ganun, na ano ko yun, na feel ko si Lea na that's her time for herself So, you should not be invading the borderline. At plus, we have Michelle D. She's not talking to anybody. And I think that's a great game plan. But a lot of people misunderstood that na Ate Chona, si Miss Michelle D, si Miss Universe Philippines. But I see that as a very, very strong game plan na she know when to peak. And I think that's what I also learned from Miss Universe. I should be reserving my energy to those things na very important. Those things na I could spark change. Those things na magiging beneficial on my end. Siguro yun yung mga magaganda. And maganda din kasi sa'yo, you're learning, ikaw na nakikita ko sa'yo, Sir PJ, we're learning from you, but I can also see na you're more than willing to learn from us, from this kind of conversation. Nakakatuwa lang kasi it's always a two-way collaboration.
Kasi mahirap naman na kasi I'm sure mafe-feel ng during this interview, mafe-feel ng kinakausap ko if I am not interested or kung parang yung ang tanong ko lang is just for the sake na may maitanong lang, maging sensationalize lang. So parang sabi ko, I have to try a different approach. So ang gusto ko lang is that if the guest is comfortable sarang sa part ko, okay na rin yun. I've received comments na, ay, ang awkward mo mag-interview, ang awkward ko. Pero sabi ko, okay lang. Kasi nung watching the episode, even talking with the guest before, nag-enjoy naman yung guest. Parang sabi ko, that's all that matters. Kasi siya yung kaharap ko during that recording eh.
And at the same time, alam mo, yun nafe-feel ko, those people who are commenting so much negative things, sila minsan yung they don't know how to be so technical about those type of those kind of expertise. Like for example, in makeup, ang lagi nagko-comment ng pangit ang makeup ko are those people who don't know how to apply makeup. So alam mo yung mga yun yung nakikita ko, and I think it's also good to listen to them because you get criticisms that might also work for those kinds of client na hindi marunong mag-apply ng makeup or ano. But at the same time, you should know how to filter those types of comment. Yes. Siguro yun yung masasabi ko, especially now that your career is booming. May reels na, may podcast na. You'll get a lot of attention. And at the same time, I must say that all those not all attentions are positive.
Yes.
And I think what you need to do is to listen to the negative criticisms. And at the end, you must know how to learn how to filter.
Kasi usually sa negative criticism, there is a certain truth din naman talaga. Na may napapansin sila na hindi mo rin talaga mapapansin. Parang anong tawag na, there is this concept, yung Johari's window.
Ay, gusto ko yan. Ano yan?
Yung Johari's window. So, if someone na alam, please correct me if I'm wrong. Na there are different windows of the self. Na there are things that you know about yourself and alam mong alam din ng iba. There are things that you know about yourself na hindi rin alam ng iba. There are things about yourself na hindi mo alam
pero alam ng iba.
At meron ding factors ng sarili mo na hindi mo alam at hindi rin alam ng iba.
That's good.
So, parang
ang ganda nun.
Different lenses of the self. So, parang maganda siyang gauge na pag alin tawag nun? Pag may nasabi yung isang tao na hindi totoo tungkol sa'yo, maybe for them, totoo kasi yun yung nakikita nila.
Nakikita nila. That's good.
You deny it kasi hindi mo nakikita sa sarili mo. So parang people kind of shut it out, pero hindi rin naman maganda na if you shut everything out. Kasi during this time kanina, may nasabi ka sa akin na dun sa boundaries, setting boundaries. And parang I just want to add something. So yun, one of the things that you said about putting up boundaries kasi yun yung challenge din on my end na hindi ko na-establish before na
you're an open book.
Na if someone needs ng ganito, parang kailangan mo mag-reply agad. Parang dati na-offend ako sa mga nagpapa-exclusive ko, no? Yun yung tawag ko dun eh. Kaya pero I was in the wrong. I know I was in the wrong na ngayon. Ang naging challenge lang dun is that yung term na familiarity breeds contempt. Na if they are very familiar sa sinasabi mo or sa presence mo mismo, parang nagiging kampante sila sa'yo na they will lose respect towards you na hindi ka rin aware. Kaya parang one of the things na nasabi din sa akin ni mom ko na very thankful din ako na na-notice ko din siya na watch ko daw on what I share on social media. Kasi what I consistently share on social media, either post man yan, memes, or even pictures of myself sa my day ko, parang hindi rin maganda na ang laging nakikita daw ng maraming tao is puro sarili mo lang, or hindi rin maganda na nakikita ng lahat ng tao puro negative ang sinishare mong post, or puro kabastusan yung sinishare mong post, or puro lang mga derogatory jokes, or parang puro political lang din yung sinishare mo. So parang in setting boundaries, especially in the digital era, so parang natututunan ko na I just share kung ano yung nagugustuhan ko, pero ang technique ko, meron akong private na share file. Sinishare ko na lang sa personal account ko. So parang
that's good. Hindi ko alam yan.
Yung may share,
may maganda ka nakitang post or quote.
I-share ko lang sa personal messenger ko. I-share ko lang siya doon.
May ganyan din pala ako. May ganyan din ako. Because most of the time, my social media nowadays, it's a platform for my business.
Yes.
And whatever that is na parang something na very inspiring for me personally, I don't share it. I keep it to myself and I keep it to my records. And then yun lang yung binabalikan ko. Or you save it or download the picture or the video. Pero kapag anything business related, yun na yung sinishare ko on my social media. Because I'm not sure if it was just me. If it's just me na during the pandemic, instead of me na focusing so much on social media platforms, parang mas na-toxican ako.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when that time comes na politics na yung pinag-uusapan. Especially the election season. Sabi ko nga, may mga viewers ako for definitely na naging kaibigan. May mga viewers ka na naging kaibigan ko sa event or nakausap ko, and then suddenly because of that conversation, they had the courage or they took that opportunity to friend request, i-add ako sa Facebook. But unfortunately, I cannot see those requests. Why? Kasi I don't use my social media anymore for personal use. So, ang nangyayari is, I don't check my notification. If I post something, I go to that post and I only see kung ano yung performance ng post na yun. Like, the comment, kung sino nag-like, kung sino nag-share. And then, I will just reply to those comment and shares. But me scrolling, wala na. Nawala yung interest ko. Kasi, siguro nung talagang nung election na nag-aaway-aaway na yung mga tao. And I think, that's something that we don't need at all in our community. Na what we need actually is not for you to accept the opinion, but respect that they are entitled for their own opinion. Siguro yun wala sa tao that time.
Actually, din alam mo ba, nung yung kwento mong ganyan, that's how I am treating yung TikTok ko ngayon. Na, yun nga, ayoko talaga gumawa ng TikTok personally, na unless na I feel awkward, I feel very conscious sa mukha ko kapag nagre-record ka sa camera. Tapos nagiging komportable na after mag-upload ng episode ng TikTok. Upload, wala na. Tapos
gets.
Pero in what you said kanina regarding sa politics, it's funny, no? We tend to talk about what are the things that builds a person, individual. We're so individualistic as people in the Philippines na never natin pinag-uusapan what keeps us together as people.
Yes, oo.
Kaya parang there is this divide na nagtatalo tayo because ito yung belief ko, yan yung belief mo. Yung individual mindset na since hindi tayo nag-agree, wala na. So parang di natin pinag-uusapan na, okay, ito yung pananaw ko, ito yung pananaw mo. Ano yung common sa kanila na pwede mag-ugnay sa ating dalawa. So parang nawawala yun sa atin.
Yung mutual,
yung common grounds natin with each other. Nawawala siya. So, now, are you ready for dun sa...
Yes, I am.
Dun sa main event na...
I was born ready.
Kasi one of the things na na-surprise ako when I called. Is it okay to talk about that?
Yes, of course. Okay.
So, one of the things na nagulat ako noon when you called me that you said na you're going to participate in Miss Gaby Colandia.
Yes,
sabi ko, oh my God. Yung una kong reaction kasi I'm so used to seeing you behind the scenes. Tapos for you to step up in the front, talagang ikaw na yung face. You're not the person behind the face. Ano ang naging mindset mo? Kasi you said that you have been preparing for this for a long period of time. Ano yung initial mindset mo na, okay, I'm going to join Miss Gaby Colandia? Ano yung pinaka-why mo doon sa ganun?
Okay. Actually, going back to the intro, sanay ako. Actually, hindi naman ako sanay na nasa backstage lagi. Kasi all throughout my life, I have been competing. Like, competing in dance competition, competing in cheer dance competition, competing in different hospitality-related competition. Basically, sanay ako sa spotlight. But when I started working as a professional makeup artist, that's the time people saw me na lagi lang sa backstage. And don't get me wrong, because I also enjoy being at the backstage. Now, I have a bucket list. And one of my bucket lists is, of course, to join a beauty pageant na ako yung kandidata. So, I have been preparing for this competition for 2 years now. This is Miss Gaby Colandia journey is 2 years in the making. How did I say na, paano ko nasabi na it's 2 years in the making? kasi 2 years na ako nagpapasarela training. Basically, marami na ako nasirang bragais na heels because of my weight and then because of the shoes din na hindi talaga siya created for men like me. Marami na ako nasira na heels. I already answered thousands of questions. I am a pageant enthusiast. Even yung mga napapadaan sa TikTok, before I listen to their answer, after ma-deliver yung question, I will pause it and then try to answer the question. That's why, siguro medyo sanay na ako answering questions. And also, I would love to learn from those people who are professionals in this field of pageantry. That's why I have my team, and it's very good to talk na I have a glam team in Manila, I have a glam team in Bicol, in Daet, I have a glam team in Camarines Sur. And then parang nga sinasabi ng everybody na sinong stylist mo? Oh, I have a fashion stylist, I have a head stylist, and I have a PR stylist. Ano yung kailangan mo? Sinong kailangan mo dun makilala?
Napaka-supportive nila sa Cornell.
And I think, yun yung sinasabi ko, Sir PG, na if you're doing good and if your heart is so sincere, a lot of people will support you. I have, before joining this pageant, or before I announced the pageant, ang dami ng sponsors. And you're one of those first sponsors na nag-confirmed. So, yun yung nakakatuwa na parang they saw my genuinity. But before that, it was just for the experience. Up until early this year, I had a conversation with my mom na she's talking about me as a member of the LGBT community na most of the time nga, I mean, my mom is very realistic and very, yun yung nagustuhan kong natutunan ko sa mga magulang ko. They are very realistic and then they don't wanna put you in a world na full of butterflies. Ito yung totoo, anak. Ito yung mangyayari and I want you to be ready for that. That's why siguro future-oriented ako. So, at first, it was just for the experience. But when I had this impactful conversation with my mother na kasi yung mga miyembro ng LGBT most of the time, sila yung tumatanda mag-isa. Sila yung walang anak, which means wala din mag-aalaga in the future. So, I felt the sincerity of my parents during that time. And to be honest, hindi yung sarili ko yung naisip ko eh. Kasi I was so grateful that time, like overflowing yung gratitude ko that time. Kasi ang swerte-swerte ko naman sa mga magulang ko because they are already preparing me for that situation na which is decades ahead of, alam mo yun, decades ahead starting today, I mean today. 27, oo.
27, mahaba-haba.
You're 27 pa lang?
1996 ako.
1997, oo. Wala, ang galing mo. Akala, ang talino mo, tingnan. For your age. Okay, totoo. Na-amaze lang ako na parang, oh my gosh, you're just 27. Pero going back to the question, sabi ko, ang swerte ko naman sa mga magulang ko kasi because they are already preparing me for that situation na mangyayari, dekada pa. Sobra, 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years pa mangyayari. Ang nakita ko dun na problem, Kidlin Law, ang nakita ko dun na problem is, paano kaya yung mga nandun na sa sitwasyon na wala ng mga magulang? Paano kaya yung mga miyembro ng LGBT na hindi na nakakapag-makeup ngayon because they are already incapable or they are already unable because of their age. They cannot even walk. They cannot even bring a luggage of makeup. So, nag-start syempre ako dun sa mga posibilidad na mangyari sa akin since I am a makeup artist. Tapos, ang inisip ko din, which I just realized earlier during my radio hopping with Camarines Norte Provincial Information Office. Sabi niya, and at the same time dyan, kasi may mga bagong generation na like ikaw, nung pumasok ka, may mga humina na pioneering makeup artist because your approach to makeup is very unique and very new and very refreshing. That's why a lot of people will book you instead of them. Sabi ko, hindi naman po yun yung goal at that's not the goal at all. But, na-realize ko din na, katulad ng mga artista, panapanahon. And I think, with that kind of setup, I am not ingrata at all, na I always acknowledge that we are somehow accepted in our community because the pioneering members of the LGBT community fought for us.
They paved the way.
And ang kailangan nila, since sila naman yung nangangailangan ngayon ng care, why don't we give our care through a simple advocacy like mine, Home for the Golden Gays? And I think that main reason why I wanna join pageantry is because I learned so much about Home for the Golden Gays, and I learned na we don't have any Home for the Golden Gays here in our region, in Bicol region. Wala tayong ganon. We have elderly care, we have most of the time yung mga politicians or mga
mostly nursing homes.
Mostly nursing homes, and at the same time yung mga politician, they are focusing sa education ng mga bata, they are focusing sa mga marginalized sector of the community, which I don't see any problem at all. Pero kawawa naman yung mga miyembro ng community who are most of the time freelancer. And when you say freelancer, wala kang trabaho, wala kang kita. It's not like a business na kapag nagkasakit ka, your business will still run. Kami kasi kung hindi ako makakapag-makeup, need kong ipasa sa iba, mawawalan ako ng kita. That's why, kaya nga minsan kahit may sakit ako, nagpupush ako eh. And I think, still I am very lucky because I have the energy and I have the physical strength na bata pa ako to do all that sacrifices na kahit may sakit ako, kaya ko magtrabaho. But what about those people who are already unable? So, sila yung pinaka-reason ko kung bakit ako sumali sa Miss Gay Bicolandia. I see pageantry as a platform for this advocacy. And I see Sir Ami International, the organizer or the organization behind Miss Gay Bicolandia, as a powerful organization who could help me achieve my advocacy as I am yearning to establish the very first Home for the Golden Gays here in our region. Of course, with their credibility and with their connections, they will be able to help me somehow rally people and sponsor so that this project will be possible and feasible. So, yun yung pinaka nag-push sa akin na
Home for the Golden Gays.
Home for the Golden Gays, yes.
Ang ganda pa. What do you call this? Was the name already established or parang yun yung naisip mong name of your advocacy?
That's a very good question. When I performed Markova is actually a masterpiece created by my coach or dance choreographer, Sir Richard Galang, way back 2018 or 2017. That was actually the last competition I won in UST it's a university-wide dance competition, and then I competed in a solo category. And then during that time, the year before that, I was the champion already. So, ang kailangan namin tapatan is ang kailangan namin tapatan that time, yung performance namin kung saan nag-champion nga kami last year. Now, we keep on looking for a very, very nice concept for my dance piece. Since people are giving me so much pressure since that was my last competition in the university, and I really need to win the competition during that time. Ganun yung pressure. Until one day, my coach told me na, Jan, watch the movie Markova. Sabi ko, ano yun? And then when I first saw the movie, ang luma nung movie, as in hindi pa siya remastered. So, ang labo niya pa. Medyo greeny pa yung ano. So, during that time, pinanood ko. And then, I was moved so much by the movie. And I learned that Markova, who was a comfort gay during the Japanese era, is also the pioneering members of Home for the Golden Gays in Pasay. The very first Home for the Golden Gays here in the country. So, yung Home for the Golden Gays na yun, pioneering member si Markova. And then, I learned na, uy, may ganun pala for them. And when I searched about it, konti pa lang yung ganun sa Pilipinas, ang dami naming membro. Paano sila? Sino nag-aalaga sa kanila? Up until I realized na kaya pala yung mga LGBT members ng na nakikita ko na pioneering members na dito sa Bicol region, most of the time, they are like taga-walis na lang sa salon because they are already unable to cut hairs because of their shaky hands. So basically, wala nag-aalaga sa kanila. Mabuti pa siguro yung mga I mean, syempre, this is not hindi ko sinasabi na maswerte. Pero somehow, ganun yun eh. Kapag may anak ka, maswerte ka na may mag-aalaga or someone will look after you pa din. But when you're a member of the community, most of the time, kayo yung tatandang mag-isa. And kayo yung need mag-provide for yourself even you're already 90s. And then, ang isa pa sa nakapag-pa-inspire sa akin to focus and gamitin na inspirasyon yung Home for the Golden Gays is si Mamang Aga rin yun. I had a client and then napag-usapan na namin na client siya both ko ng Jandes Creations and client din siya ni Mamang Aga rin yun. Napag-usapan na namin one time na alam mo, yan si Mamang Aga, kung hindi yan tumutulong sa community ninyo, matagal na milyonaryo yan. And I was moved by that conversation na sinong tumutulong kay Mamang Aga for that advocacy? Parang wala masyado because we are all busy surviving our life na we sometimes forgot to give back to our community. And siguro isa yun sa mga rason kung bakit ako lumalaban for Miss Gay Bicolandia, for my advocacy. And I already told the organization na I never need to win this competition. Sinasabi ko yan sa lahat ng mga tao. But I see, because to be honest, yung crown, nakikita ko siya as just a piece of accessory on your head if you don't have the purpose. But if you have the advocacy and if you're really willing to dedicate your whole self to that advocacy, you will see the crown more than just an accessory. You will see the crown as a very, very good way to establish your credibility so that people will listen to you and people will be moved by you. And at the same time, kapag na-touch mo na yung mga puso nila sa advokasya mo, it will create a ripple effect wherein they will also inspire others to be advocates of their advocacy. So, yun yung plano ko talaga na mapag-usapan na this time as early as now yung problema natin sa mga Golden Gays na they need assistance.
So, parang, it appears na the crown is not the end of your journey, but it's the beginning once if and when makuha mo.
Yes, oo.
Okay. So, parang pardon my ignorance in this question. So, pardon my ignorance in this question. So, for sure, I think most people ganun din ang maisip. What's the difference of establishing a home for the Golden Gays and establishing a home for the aged? Kasi, parang iisipin naman ng mga tao is that, parehas lang naman na part na ng senior citizen sila. So, parang, why give special... Yeah, for sure, that's the term that they will use eh. So, why give special treatment for the members of the LGBTQ community na may sarili silang nursing home compared sa mga taong...
That's a very good question. Alam mo, hindi pumasok yan sa isip ko. But, along with my advocacy home for the Golden Gays, I have other advocacies. The first one is, of course, I am advocating Beauty for All, which focuses on giving free education to those people who want to be a makeup artist.
Oh, that's nice.
And then, yun yung reason ko naman doon is it's still connected sa Home for the Golden Gays. If I could provide home for the Golden Gays, I must teach them how to sustain their living. Hindi siya magiging spoon feeding na ibibigay na sa kanila lahat yung pagkain, isasaing na lang, hindi sa kanila ibibigay yung mga pagkain na lulutuin na lang. Part of my advocacy after Home for the Golden Gays is Beauty for All. It's about giving them trainings and a living so that even though they are already at that age or at that stage, they can still provide for themselves. And I think yun yung pinakamaganda dun sa advocacy ako na hindi siya matatapos na syempre magre-reign ako and I'll try my best to establish the very first Home for the Golden Gays. And, syempre, pagkatapos nun, people will see na, oh, you already accomplished your success because you already established the Home for the Golden Gays. But it should not stop there, eh. Kasi, hindi naman kami pwedeng for the rest of our life or for the rest of their life, they will just depend dun sa mga sponsors. Yeah. And I think that's the best thing about my plans and my commitment na hindi siya nagtatapos. And I am very much open to other projects na might contribute to sustain the organization's advocacy, which is Home for the Golden Gays.
Actually, tawag dito, the concept of teaching a man how to fish. Parang yun
yung concept. Yes, totoo. Yan yung lagi kong sinasabi.
So, anong tawag nito? Ang maganda kasi dyan is that most of the time, people hindi nila nakikita yung difference between advocacy and fixing a problem or patching up. May nagsasabi na, this is my advocacy, tapos ang advocacy niya is to fix a certain problem. Kapag naayos na yung problem na yun, nawawala na yung advocacy. Advocacy is mostly life. That's a life commitment eh. That's an advocacy. Kaya nga advocacy. So parang, aside from patching up a problem or fixing a problem, what can you do to sustain it? So parang, yun ang hindi nakikita ng karamihan and on which case sa'yo, kitang-kita
ko na siya.
Clear sa'yo na there should be a way to sustain it.
And I think that only shows that I am very passionate with my advocacy. Na hindi lang siya about establishing. Kasi kung may gusto lang akong patunayan, pagka-establish ko, pwede na akong umalis eh.
Yeah, actually.
Kasi na-accomplish ko na, naibigay ko na sa komunidad ko yung pinangako ko.
And no one
pwede na ako mag-umalis.
And no one will question you for it.
Yes, no one can question also. Kasi ang pinangako ko lang naman sa inyong Home for the Golden Gays. But when you're very passionate about your advocacy, you make way to sustain it.
Yeah.
And I think yun yung And going back to your question, ano bang pinagkaiba ng Home for the Golden Gays sa Home for the Agent? It's somehow the same, but since this is Home for the Golden Gays, we are focusing on ideas that could actually make their life even more fulfilled. So what do I mean by that? Na yung ibibigay namin sa kanila na assistance, it will be in line with their lifestyle. Like a good example nga is Beauty for All. Now we will be teaching them how to curl hair or how to do this, how to do makeup, or we can actually endorse them sa mga salons so that they can actually learn how to color hair, to dye hair. Basically, I have so much in my mind. What I need is a start. And I see Miss Gay Bicolandia and Sir Ami International as a very, very good start for my advocacy.
So parang hindi siya it's not a blanket solution for all. Parang specific doon sa passion din ng mga majority ng nasa Home for the Golden Gays. Okay. So parang in connection with this, another question that I had is that as someone who is going to participate sa Miss Gay Bicolandia, for sure there are also candidates who share the same passion, who share the same advocacy.
Oo naman.
Na pagdating sa advokasya, parang each and everyone na candidate doon will always say na I am passionate about this advocacy.
Yes,
So I have a question. Is the pageant na mangyayari na yung pinapapasukan mo ngayon, is it more on a battle of advocacy? Is it a battle of wits? Is it a battle of smarts? Is it a battle of ganito? Or ano nga ba ang magiging personal kasi for sure may mga judging naman talaga.
Totoo.
So parang personal sa'yo, ano yung usually na merit para masabi na a person deserves this crown as Miss Gaby Colancia?
That's a good question. Kasi even though pageantry is an advocacy-based platform nowadays, people still judge us with our walk, with the way we answer, with the way we introduce ourselves, and with our talent also, wherein we perform our talent, and then we need to please our judges to give this title to us. And I think to answer the question, that's where the 2 years preparation kicks in, na I need to prepare my pasarela. I will never be able to answer my question. I will never be able to answer the question and express my sincerest purpose why I am joining Miss Gaby Colancia if in the first place hindi ko mai-ace yung first 3 stages ng competition, which is the production number, the swimsuit competition, and then the long gown competition. So I need to prepare for that. And I think that I came prepared. My team of creatives created a plan that will definitely amplify our chance to winning. But again, it will never be a walk in the park. Kailangan ko pa rin siyang ilaban. And for me to be able to do that, I need to really ace everything. For me to be noticed by the judges, for me to go up until the end of the competition wherein there were only 3 girls to be asked the same question.
Tatlo lang?
So, hindi pa siya nasasabi sa amin, but I think it's always like 10, 5, and 3. Yun yung nakikita kong pattern lagi ng mga pageant. Wherein, they will ask, in a casual interview, 10 girls will be asked different questions according or based from your personality or based from what you passed or what you put on your credentials. And then for the top 5 questions, it's about social issues. And then for the top 3, it's more of like, why do you deserve to win the crown type of question. So, I will never be able to answer those 3 questions if in the first place, hindi ko ilalaban yung 3 segment, which is the production, swimsuit, and long gown. So, going back to your question, I need to prepare for that still. Kasi, i-judge pa rin kami according to our stage presence and our performances. But more than that, I see that as their way to see who is passionate, who is disciplined to have those kinds of training to ace those segments. Plus, they need someone na presensya pa lang can really speak to the people. And I think I understand why we are doing this. It's not for the glamour, but they are looking for a total package. Someone with a purpose, someone who can talk, and someone who can catch the attention of your audience.
It's more on talagang all of the above.
Totoo, oo. And mahirap yung preparation, especially the diet, Sir PJ. Wala na po akong kinakain. But I mean, kidding aside, may kinakain naman ako, but it's not the usual type na nagbubalalo ako every other day. Restricted na sa mga ganon. And I feel like that's a good choice also. For what reason? I feel a lot healthier compared to my lifestyle before. Kasi talagang every other day ako nagbubalalo. That's my favorite ulam.
Malakas kayong comfort food ang bulalo.
Oo, lalo na kapag sa Tagaytay ka. My God.
Malamig na pa lang.
Malamig. Tapos may mainit na yakap. Ay, mainit na bulalo.
Tapos may patis tapos may konting sili. Usually ganun ang timpla ko sa.
Totoo. At saka may mainit na sabaw. At saka lang.
So parang speaking of mainit na yakap. Sabi ko kanina.
My God.
How hard do you pressure yourself? Kasi for sure, you said that you are surrounded by good people. And for sure, being surrounded by those people, they are making sure that you won't feel pressured pagkasama sila. Pero sa'yo, sa part mo, how hard are you on yourself para masabi mo na kailangan ko itong gawin ng maayos?
I'm a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist and I'm very hard on myself. Not because I am competitive, but because I wanna give my best so that at the end of the journey, wala akong pagsisisihan. Na, I know my capabilities na kaya ko sanang manalo kaya lang tinamad akong gawin ito or kaya lang may pagkakataon akong gawin ito kaya lang hindi ko ginawa. So, natalo ako. And I don't wanna go to that kind of situation na I'm blaming myself for the things na I was not able to do because of my shortcomings. And the very evident to that statement, they are only asking us to prepare 5 wardrobes. The screening, the casual, the swimsuit, the Barbie inspired, and the gown. And if you're gonna ask me how many wardrobes did I prepare, I prepared 25. And that's how dedicated that's how dedicated I am.
Napalaki yung mata ko.
You asked me to prepare 5 wardrobes, I prepared 25.
Always go beyond, no?
Yes, oo. Radio hopping, it's not the usual thing for a beauty queen. But I wanna utilize the potential of my connection, and at the same time, I wanna utilize those people who are beyond willing to help me, so that I can educate people. That's why I requested for radio hopping to those people na I think more than willing to help. We have the Radio Pilipinas, Love Radio, Camarines Norte, Provincial Information Office. I have a lot na isang sabi ko lang, they wanna support me. And I think, yun nga yung sinabi ko sa iyo, Sir PJ, if you have the most passionate desire, or sabi natin na if you are very passionate with what you are doing, you will always go above and beyond. And I think that's what I'm doing right now. And to be honest, I am not exhausted at all because I love what I am doing.
Kasi usually,
di ba, nakita mo yung wardrobe ko doon?
Oo, kanina.
Ang dami kong wardrobe doon, di ba? Tapos, nakaano na sila, naka-dust bag na sila isa-isa. And then, we already, although this is a surprise, we already did a lookbook shoot a month ago.
Oh.
So, naka-prepare na lahat ng wardrobe ko a month ago. And then, we prepared and we matched everything now with the accessories, with the shoes, with the everything, with the, how I wanna look like with that set of wardrobe. And I think that's how prepared we are. And I don't want people to see this as something bragging, or I don't want people to see this as ang yabang naman nito. But I hope people will see it in a lens of gratitude na ang galing niya naman, na ito lang yung hinihingi, but since she's really passionate with what she's doing, she go above and beyond. She go an extra mile to exceed the expectation of others, na possible pala sa isang Miss Gay lang na mag-prepare like pang binibining Pilipinas, because we are capable of doing that. We can do that for other girls. Why don't we do it for ourselves, 'di ba? Na to be honest, yung mga kandidata ko, marami silang damit and magaganda yung preparations nila whenever they are competing, when they are under my management. But bakit hindi ko maibigay sa sarili ko yun? And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm proving myself na if girls deserve to have this kind of preparation just like Binibining Pilipinas, we also deserve this kind of attention, and we also deserve this kind of preparation, because we are now a representation or image of inspiration.
So it's more on, what you call this, what you give, make sure you can also give to yourself din.
Oo naman. Minsan, and it should always be like that.
At pero minsan may mga tao na they give, but even though it's not reciprocated sa kanila, okay lang as long as nakakabigay sila, but they cannot even do that with themselves. Yung I've known people na they can,
I feel like ganun ka nga
na parang they can give, sana wag naman.
Na parang give ka lang na parang
at I think before, I can say before na
it's your love language to give.
Na parang it's easier for me to understand others, but at the same time it's harder for me to understand myself.
Yes,
so parang it's frustrating kasi nagagawa ko to sa iba, but di ko magawa sa sarili ko. Pero I've worked around that. So okay na rin naman.
And then I realized that na for you to be able to help others, you must know how to help yourself first. And then, parang may isa pa nga ako nakita na, tawag dito, it's a video clip or it's, I think I saw it on Reels or TikTok na she's giving, a message, TED Talk. The TED Talk. I think I saw it or I heard it from TED Talk na I am not selfish if I give so much for myself. Because in a cup of water, yung cup na nasasalo ng water, that's for me. And yung sa sobra lang dun sa water, that's something that I could share, I can share to others. And I think you cannot call me selfish for doing that if I don't share my cup of water for everybody. Because at the end, I need to invest on myself. I need to protect myself first for me to be beneficial for others also. And I think
magandang analogy, no?
Oo,
and I think parang to add to that, parang mas lalabas lang na magiging selfish ka if you will take the cup of others. Yun ang
yes. Yun ang selfish. Yun ang selfish. And I think that's something na will step on someone.
Yes, actually. So parang this is second to the last question.
Yes po, anything.
Second to the last question. As someone that has found you have your personal advocacy. Actually, I found my own personal advocacy din. Kasi my personal advocacy is more on the side of redemption na people can be redeemed if they are willing na people can be redeemed if they are willing to change kasi parang that's
a good quote.
Yun yung nangyari din sa akin before na I made a lot of mistakes but decided to change, nag-redeem din. I want others na ganun din sana. So, you have found yours, I have found mine. How can you teach yung mga nakikinig, nanonood? How can they find their sense of advocacy? Kasi I believe a sense of advocacy is an essential way for you to live your life din eh. It's not a purpose in life actually. Contrary to most belief na hindi yan ang purpose mo sa buhay mo. But it's a driving factor for you to live your life din. So, how can you advise young ones na nakikinig na how do you find an advocacy na para sa'yo din?
I think the very first thing that you need to do is to acknowledge the problem. And it is not selfish if that problem is something that you personally experience.
Yeah.
Or that problem is something that you will personally experience. You will and you personally. You're already experienced. True. So that's present and the future tense. So I found my advocacy through that conversation with my mother. And to be honest, I will never be hypocrite. I am doing this to establish the home for... I am doing my effort to establish the very first home for the Golden Gates because I know in the future that I will benefit from this advocacy also. Tatanda ako, kailangan ko ng tulong din ng ibang tao. And I think that is something that is good to acknowledge na I don't want to be hypocrite. Hindi ko ginagawa ko to para sa ibang tao, but at the same time, I am doing this because I know for myself that I will benefit from this in the future. And I think it's not selfish at all. But more than that, I think people should always give back to the community. And I remember, or should I say that I will end this answer by saying that a life lived for others is a life well lived.
Actually, true.
Albert Einstein. Is that Albert Einstein? Parang, yeah. I think it's a quote from Albert Einstein. I'm not sure if that's...
Check nyo na lang kami.
Yeah, paki-check na lang po ha. But I think that quote is it's so me. Na ang sarap nga naman tumulong sa kapwa mo. But at the same time, you should never forget to help yourself. Yeah. You should never forget to invest in yourself because you're not selfish by doing that. Kasi what you're just trying to say or what you're trying to do is you can never give something if in the first place you don't have that something. So, don't forget yourself.
So, mostly parang wishful thinking na lang na ang nangyayari kapag you're giving something na wala ka.
Oo, masyado mahirap yun.
Parang nakikisana all ka na lang dun sa tao.
Oo, mahirap yung magmamahal ka nang hindi mo mahal muna yung sarili mo.
Actually, parang lalabas doon na
naramdaman mo ba yun?
Tapos na ako
naiyak
doon.
Ako.
Tapos na ako doon.
Diba, Ate Yay? Mahirap pagmahal ng iba kung hindi mo mahal yung sarili mo. O, diba? Yung assistant ko kasi nandito.
Na parang you will find justifications na masasabi mo sa sarili mo na okay, because I love this ganito, I love this, hindi naman necessarily person. I love this work, I love this ganyan. Na parang I am willing to sacrifice something sa akin just for that something that I love. Pero sometimes, hindi rin naman yun na not everything we love na sa tingin natin tama sa atin Hindi naman, just because you love it doesn't mean it's good for you. Parang ganun. Halimbawa, you love bulalo.
Kasi yung bulalo yung sinampal mo.
Diba? You love bulalo, pero pag nasobrahan nga naman tayo doon, it's really not good for you.
Ay, ganda nun.
So parang, if you really love someone, or a something, or a person, or a passion, na you love it because it makes you healthy or a good person. So parang, ngayon ko lang na-absorb din yung teachings ng parents ko na, if you're doing something, especially if you're doing something for others, ask yourself, yung ginagawa ko bang ito, is it helping me grow as well? Or is it just, is it just helping them grow while at the same time draining me? So parang, if ganun ang nangyayari, parang you have to step back na. Yun na yung sinasabi mo kanina. Na okay lang naman na ikaw yung magdidilig ng halaman ng iba. Just make sure may natitira kang tubig sa halaman mo.
Ganda.
So parang ganun yung analogy na binigay sa akin.
Pero doon naman sa analogy na yun, I would say na try to water your plants first. Yeah. Before watering others' plants. Kasi, alam mo, you will never be able to help others in the long run if ikaw na yung naubos.
Na parang kung nagtitira, yung tira-tira lang yung natitira sa'yo.
One thing I learned from a survival, what do you call this? First aid survival ng Red Cross. Parang it's a training na kapag may mga calamities. The first thing I learned is, you must know how to save yourself first.
Yeah.
Because if you will do that, you will have the chance to save others.
Especially sa first aid din.
Sa first aid, diba? Yun yung na kailangan mo munang isalba yung sarili mo. Kasi kung nabalian ka na, you can no longer be beneficial for others by saving them. Kasi nga, ikaw na yung kailangan i-save.
And for clarification din sa mga babasa nakikinig din sa atin na nakaabot sa ganitong part ng conversation. Na alam mo yun, kahit pinag-uusapan natin na you should live for others, sometimes you have to live for yourself. Kasi ano tawag nito? There should be a balance in serving others and serving oneself. Pag nasobrahan ka ng sa-serve sa oneself, selfishness na yun. Pag nasobrahan ka naman sa pag-serve ng others, pag sobrahan ka naman ay pagiging, ano tawag nito? May tawag doon hindi naman pagiging martir, pagiging pleaser na. If you're giving so much to others
without getting anything in return.
Nadi-disregard mo na yung sarili mo. Yun
And sometimes, din na pumapasok yung term na take advantage.
Yes. Na parang, ay, okay lang naman kasi nagmahal ka ng ganito, nag-push ka ng ganito.
But parang, may broken hearted ka dyan.
Ay, hindi naman. Yung parang, it's...
Pero totoo, nakakatuwa din naman sa mga conversation natin. The reason why I love being with you, and, just discussing anything under the sun, ang dami ko natututunan sa'yo. And I love listening to your words kasi it's really totoo. Alam mo yung totoo? What do I mean by totoo? I can apply it I can apply it to my everyday life. Hindi siya masyadong malalim, hindi siya masyadong mababaw. It's just enough for me to apply for my everyday life.
Actually, alam mo ba, nakaka-pressure nga na every time na nag-interview ako ng even someone na kahit sabihin natin someone with high status, someone with less status din. Sabi ko, parang nakaka-pressure na makipag-usap sa ganun na mga iba't ibang klase ng tao kasi ang tawag nito, you are gauging them as well na ano yung makukuha sa akin. Kasi madami na ako makukuha if the mere fact na nag-guest ka sa isang podcast episode ko, malaking benefit na yun sa part ko. But ano naman yung benefit nung guest. So parang yung sa'yo nung natawag ka sa akin, ay, mo pa-interview ka sa akin nun. Mag-usap ulit tayo. Tapos sabi ko, hala, dami nang na-experience ni ganito ni John. Tapos you have been interviewed with different, na-interview na to ng mga malalaking stations, malalaking kilala. Tapos sabi ko, sino ba naman ako na nag-uusap lang ng simple setup. So parang there's a novelty in conversations like this din, na it's like talking with a friend na matagal mo nang hindi na
and nothing changed.
Yeah, yun ang maganda doon.
And at saka, alam mo, Sir PJ, I'm not sure if everyone will see me this way, but I am very grateful. Hindi ako nakakalimot sa mga taong tumulong sa akin. And even if ever na I was given the opportunity to be on top, I will always go back to my roots, and I will always give respect to those who helped me.
So parang it's a way to keep yourself humble na rin. Kailangan din talaga yung ganyan.
And walang tumataas na puno na hindi nakatanim sa lupa. So you always need to, alam mo yun, you always need to go back to your roots and always remember that you're still touching the ground, kasi hindi tatayog yung puno mo if in the first place nakabungkal ka na sa lupa.
Nandun yung sustenance din eh. So for the last
Hala, ngayon ko lang na-realize yung puno-puno na yun Hala, ang ganda no. You will never be able to reach the tallest tree if in the first place you are no longer touching the ground. And thank you. Check
may opening ka na.
Oo nga no, ang ganda no. Maririnig niyo yun sa coronation night. Check it out. Charis lang.
So, John, for the last question. Nasabi mo kanina na you're very futuristic pagdating sa mga conversations. So, I'll be futuristic sa tanong na ito. Have you ever seen yourself training the next John Dayaon? Na given the path na nakikita mo, the advocacy with the Golden Gaze, the people that you have met, the potentials ng mga young aspiring artists, makeup artists as yourself, nakita mo na ba ng sarili mo na I have to train the next me? It doesn't necessarily mean na kasi unique naman talaga tayo.
Ang ganda ng tanong mo
na nakikita mo na ba na may ganun ka na bang mindset as sa age mo ngayon, or saka na yan, darating na lang yung ganun?
I already have that mindset.
Okay.
I actually have my senior artist already. I have Lea Talento and Marian Malayo, which I am helping. I mean, not which, parang sila na talaga yung pinapasahan ko ng corona dito sa Camarines Norte. Because I see myself as someone who will grow in so much beauty in Manila and in other countries. But I also see myself working in the province, but I think I see so much potential and opportunities at the urban. Alam mo, parang sa Manila, sa metro, ayan.
Usually doon talaga.
Going back to your question, am I ready or am I seeing myself training the next me? Definitely. I always tell my students or I always tell my artists na, alam nyo, hindi naman ibabawas ni Lord yung blessing na binibigay ko sa inyo sa blessing na dapat para sa akin. Kasi, I see it, katulad nga ng sinabi ko na, if you're passionate with what you are doing, everything will follow. Same thing with the blessing. If you share your blessing, you will create more rooms, and then, it is now open for more blessings. And I think yun yung pinakamagandang mindset na itinuro ng nanay ko. Na if hindi ito para sa'yo, there's something better coming for you. And I think I always dream to have a community that will just uplift each other. And that's what I am starting to do right now. And of course, with the help of Sure Ami International and Miss Gay Bicolandia 2023, I hope I can start to have this kind of conversation wherein negativity will never be in our community. But instead, we will see everything in a lens of gratitude, wherein people will help people, people will try to uplift the community even in their simplest way. And at the same time, I hope that this could create a ripple effect so that the generation will still feel the opportunity we created for them.
That's a very good answer na. Alam mo yun, I feel very comfortable with this conversations kasi parang I feel na yung mga sagot mo, alam mo yun, it's not a pageantry question or it's not a pageantry answer na
pageant answers.
Na parang ang ganda niya pakinggan.
And I don't wanna learn that pageant questions because I think if I learn the way most beauty queens answer questions, mawawala yung puso ko most of the time. I mean, this is just my own opinion, ha. I mean, a lot of girls are really good in acing any questions. But for me, acing a question is already expected for a queen. But acing a question that could touch hearts is something very unique and something very authentic. And that's my goal to lagi na to always answer galing sa puso. And I remember exactly, Sir PJ, during the screening of Miss Gay Bicolandia, a lot of people were commending me for my answer because it was just an honest and casual answer. I also answered, or I also used Tagalog in my answer. And I think that is not the typical type or the conventional type of answer to a pageant questions, because we have the stereotype that if you're talking Tagalog, you're not educated enough. Here in the Philippines, di ba? Kapag nagtatagalog ka, hindi ka matalino. But if you are fluent in English, you know better. Lagi may ganong misconception. The halo effect. But I think people should now be more open in answering questions with so much authenticity. Because beauty queen should never be called beauty queen. Beauty queen should be called ambassador for their causes. And that's what I am doing right now. I am rebranding the new beauty queen.
And parang to see that in a world na standards are being set with different levels of people, parang sa sobrang dami ng standards, nawawala na yung sarili natin just to adhere to those standards.
Totoo yan.
And
totoo.
Parang before we end this conversation, thank you so much
for salamat the wonderful po na marami.
And the same thing, ngayon ko lang na-realize during this talk na how important, yung pakikipag-usap ng magulang sa atin na your advocacy was set because of how you talk with your mom. Reflecting back during our conversation, na-realize ko na ang sabi rin sa akin ng papa ko na pagkatapos niyan, ano na? I always ask, ano na? Okay, nag-podcast ka, ano na? Ay, gumanito ka, ano na? So parang it sets me na maging futuristic in my answers or in my vision. So parang as parents or as potential parents maybe in the future, or kahit nga di parents kahit nga kuya, ate ka, may so long as mas may nakakabata sa'yo, parang have that kind of talk. Have the real and hard, truthful talk with younger generations, because parang you're helping them find their way. Maybe hindi ngayon, but eventually they will. And you have started that path for them. So yeah, I never would have realized that without this conversation. So I'm very thankful.
Thank you po. And I think I wanna end this conversation by answering a pageant question.
Sige.
When is the right time to listen and when is the right time to talk? The right time to listen is when you have a great heart to sitting constructively. If you are using a lens of gratitude wherein you take each and every words coming from someone you're talking with so much inspiration. And the right time to talk is when you are fulfilled and at the same time you have a purpose of inspiring others because of the talk you just had. And I think yun yung gagawin ko this time with after this conversation, kasi nabanggit mo na ano na ang susunod. Now that I am fueled with so much positivity and so much inspiration coming from the PJ Bautista himself, I think that is something that I would bring in Miss Bicolandia stage. Na I will dedicate myself to inspire others, just like what you are doing in this platform. Sobrang dami mo na-inspire, and I hope to see you 10 years from now doing so much better. Kasi I see your potential, Sir PJ, and at the same time, you will never reach, how long have you been doing this? 2, 3 years?
Actually,
2 years? Hindi ka naman naabot ng 2 years, katulad nga nung sanabi sa'yo ng parents mo na wala ka naman kinikita dito. I mean, as per them, I'm not sure kung may kinikita ka dito or kung ano pa naman. But I think, payment don't always comes in a form of money. Payment, I think, is by satisfying your soul na you were able to inspire others. Ang tinatawag namin nun is media mileage naman sa amin, na hindi kami bayad ng pera, pero we are able to do better or parang step up our game. And then by stepping up our game, we have a bigger platform wherein we have the opportunity to inspire a bigger audience.
Ayan, I'll keep those words into my heart then. So thank you so much.
Maraming salamat din po.
Best of luck. I think this will be uploaded before the Miss Gay Bicolandia.
Okay.
So parang best of luck.
Yes
and
po.
Hopefully the next conversation that we will have is that i-share mo na yung experience mo with the pageant, everything behind the scenes. Pero saka na. That's a story.
I hope sa sunod natin, I will definitely set another interview with you kapag may mabigat, parang ang bigat na nung nasa ulo ko, Sir PJ. I mean, kidding aside, but I think, sabi ko nga sa team ko, win or lose, with or without the crown, we will celebrate. Yeah. And you will be invited in that celebration.
Oh my God, I am excited to be a part of that celebration.
Yes naman.
Kasi thankful na sabay din na consider mo din yung presence ko on that one.
Oo naman.
So with that said, thank you so much, Miss Jan Dayaon. So if you want to support her, you can check out all the social media links below. And once again, this is your host PJ, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.